Okay, so this menagerie here is an attempt to at least get close to what should be a 2.8 degree incidence angle, which also nicely lines up with where it actually you would think it would go on the gusset there, or the gusset cover. I got the actual fuselage level. I lifted the front there, and there's a bunch of leftover wood planks from the clamps that are just under that front wheel to keep the fuselage perfectly level. So this floor is just about bang on level. So the plane does lean a little bit like that way. I just used a protractor to measure that angle there, and it's looks like it's bang on. So I've got these measured where they need to be drilled. So this will have to come off pretty much completely, which is kind of a good thing because I want to put some special lubricant that will also act as a corrosion inhibitor between the center spar and the wing. So I'm going to pull that out, which is probably not going to be super fun. Okay, today is Sunday, December 8th, 2024. So I've twisted this back off. You can see those dark spots where the kind of aluminum on the inside of the other spot, this one here, rubbed up against here. So while I have this off, I'm just going to give that a very light sanding and make it as smooth as this was. So if I didn't mention it in the previous video, I did go over this with very fine-grained sandpaper afterwards. It was just a little laborious because I had to do a lot of it by hand. So there's one there, and the other one is there. So that's where the bolts will go. So those were... So I got the wing in place, and then I match drilled those. I'm gonna do my best to kind of ream those out because there's probably a lot of junk inside of there. Because I just took it off. I just finished drilling it and taking the wing out. So I need to build the nut plates that eventually get glued onto the other side of this. So, you know, when it goes in, you have something to screw into that won't come off. So somebody commented on YouTube about the best lubricant to use between these two, and I tend to agree. So I'm going to smooth this out a little bit more before I put it on and put that lubricant. But I'm not even going to focus on doing that right now. I just want to make those nut plates that go under here. So it's not just a nut plate, it's a nut plate mounted to a piece of aluminum that then gets glued onto the inside here. So I'll have to pull this out a little ways more to get at that. Once you get this shaved down, it's actually pretty easy to take off. I think this weighs about 80 or 90 pounds altogether. So it's not super heavy, but it's got some heft to it. I'm not even going to bother doing this unless I have time later today. I'm going to focus on making those nut plates and then go from there. Okay, today is Friday, December 13th. I guess it's Friday the 13th. 2024. I got busy with the much finer grit sandpaper just to smooth this out. And it's a pretty simple job. It's significantly smoother now. Like it doesn't have any of that weird roughness that I could feel with the terry towel when I ran across it. But so that's done. I also and I took some pictures. I don't know how well that shows up. So I got these glued in, and they are curing. So that'll take the rest of the day. So so I just put a bunch of washers on the bottom there because you know there's no thickness of metal from that. Those two have a bunch of washers on them while they're curing, and the bolts will come out. This will go back on. then those will get screwed in. Those will get opened up to 1 inch. So I had a discussion, very brief discussion, on the YouTube channel after I made that video, and I agree with what he said. And somebody mentioned, the roughness of the metal might cause, stress risers. That's probably a bit of an exaggeration, but I did sand it nice and smooth now. So it's really as smooth as I can get it without using a lathe, and I'm not going to spend $3,000 on a lathe for just one job. So the surface of this will get sprayed with some LPS3 that I ordered from Aircraft Spruce. It's sitting way over there at the end of the table. And somebody else also mentioned I had put Teflon on these, and that's not the correct stuff to use for fuel. So I got some Easy Turn thread lubricant that's fuel safe. I took the Teflon tape off of there, and when I get ready to put these back on, I'll put some of that lubricant on there. Okay, I decided to stick around and do at least one pass on this. So what I'm going to do is leave this as is for now. It probably needs like 10 more passes. I think that's it for today. Okay, today is Sunday, December 15th, 2024. So just thought I'd make a real quick video here before I push this back on. So I applied that LPS3 on this. Of course, I sanded it yesterday to get it as smooth as possible, and it goes on like just butter. It's it creates kind of a waxy film around the outside, and it's just slick. So it makes it really easy to go on. I also took the Teflon off of there. That little bit of ooze that's left over is Easy Turn lubricant. And thanks again to the guy that commented on my last video about the Teflon, as well as the LPS 3, which is, I think, the same guy. Sorry, I don't remember your name, but thanks in advance. So same on that end. So I'm just working on pushing this back on a little bit at a time, and I'll get back to sanding that side, which I did a little bit of yesterday. So I thought I'd make just a quick video because I need both of these stands for the other side. I can use that smaller stand that I've got sitting over there, but I just wanted to make a quick video to show that it will support the wing pretty easily, and it's not lurching at all. I'm not going to leave it that way. I'll still put that smaller one under there just to keep it so much weight being on one side. But yeah, it holds the wing just fine. I wouldn't wrench it around or anything, but it's pretty stiff and pretty strong. So I'm gonna get that other stand under there, and then I'll get busy trying to get that thing sanded down, the center spar sanded down for the other side. So that's the rest of the job for today. Those nut plates are completely cured on the inside of this. I can slide it back on and then put the bolts on. I can put the bolts in a little bit just to keep it from moving back and forth. But yeah, I'm gonna have to wait until I get the hole saws out here, which kind of irks me that I forgot, because I knew that was one of the things I was going to do, and I thought they were out here. But anyway, other than cutting the holes a little bigger and making the plugs, this will be done today. Okay, getting ready to call it a night. I guess there's still a little daylight. You can see some daylight through the crack there. So this one's going on a lot easier than the other one. So I've gotten 2 passes with the 36 grit. So I've been kind of alternating with 36 grit, then 80 grit to smooth it down, and then once this slides on all the way, I'll smooth it some more with 220 with 220 and 400. just to get it as smooth as possible. The real champion of getting that on, though, is this stuff. It makes just a really nice, buttery, smooth, kind of a waxy film over the metal, and just smooths everything out so nicely. And it also protects the metal from corrosion where they're mated together. So it's kind of magical stuff. It just makes putting this on so much easier. So after 2 passes, this is already on like an inch or two. So this was kind of fun getting up here all by myself, but you do need a little bit of strength if you're not confident, because it is pretty heavy. I think these are about 80 pounds. So lifter beware if you're going to do what I did. So I did cheat, of course. I've got the engine hoist. So I lifted one side more or less to get it even with the center spar there, and then lifted this up. So it was basically just having to lift this other side once that side was on, and I've got a couple of straps on it so it doesn't roll back and forth on top of those. So yeah, it's this was probably half of the time that I spent here just inching this up back and forth until it was the same length as this, and just kind of looking at it, this side looks a little low, and when I scooch it on, I do have to lift it up and kind of move it around to get it in the right spot. This way I think it's about right. This way I think it's a little low, even with that cardboard stuffed under there, but it'll do for now. I know it's a little low. But it's already going on a lot easier than the other one did. I still think this is the better way to go. Yeah, I'm going to have to get up on a ladder and measuring stuff, because you really do got to measure a lot, putting those spars on to get them all in the right spot. But I'd rather get up and down a ladder rather than trying to haul it over and put it on like I did with that one. It's once you got the skin on there and everything, it's pretty heavy, especially since I had to use that 4x4 to lift it. So I just think this is a better way of doing it. Yeah, you got to go up and down a ladder a whole bunch of times, probably 100, 200 times while you're working on it, but that's not the end of the world. So I'm going to leave this here and call it a night and come back in a day or two and start working on getting this sanded smooth and completely on. Okay, today is Sunday, December 22nd, so finally got the arbor for the hole saw. And what I ended up doing was just wrapping some tape around the bit. It's a little bit smaller than the actual threaded nut plates, so I just wrapped some tape around the drill bit so it wouldn't wreck the threads, and drilled those out very carefully. And I'm going to 3D print some plugs to go in there, and hopefully it'll be almost seamless. On this side, so I had only pushed it in about yay far, and it was really difficult to get on. So this isn't actually on, it's just kind of sitting there. So once I get back tomorrow, I'll start working on getting that on. But the first thing I need to do, and I just don't feel like doing it today, because I gotta clean all this stuff up again, is cut out that template that I traced from the other one, and make the same skin that I did over there, the one that has the all the little leaves bent over the angle. So I've got to put that on before I can put this on for good. Same as the other one. So tomorrow I want to get that cut out and put on here. I'm going to slide this on, but I'm not going to match drill the holes until everything is on, except for the skin. then I can position this exactly where it needs to be and then match drill them. So, okay, today is Tuesday, December 24th, Christmas Eve, so 2024. This slid on super easy. It's been a couple days since I applied that LPS3, and it really does make it buttery smooth. So I was able to eat without any leverage. I was able to just slide it right on. It's a little stiff towards the end, but I can push it off on by hand. That one I had to give it a little bit of a bump on the end there to get it to go on. But this one was super easy. So this is ready to put on. So the reason it isn't on and it's just pulled out a little ways, I just wanted to get it on. So I put it on all the way, and then I backed it out, and I'm like, well, just leave it there because I don't know how much I'm going to get done. And it gives it a little bit more support hanging off the plane there. So the reason I haven't put it on yet is because I got to make this. So I need this on, and then this pushed up against it as far as it'll go. So I know where to drill these holes, because they got to be match drilled. And there's going to be a little bit of a spacer here, obviously, because of the skin. So I'm in the process of doing that. You can see it's just kind of rough cut out right now. So I've got to put this skin on here, and then I need to make those same nut plates that go in here. Okay, so this gusset cover is pretty much dialed in. I deliberately left a little bit of excess. You can see I just started roughing out this hole. I found it easiest just to kind of cut it close with angle grinder with a cutting wheel, and then use a die grinder to get it to a perfect circle. Obviously, it's neither a perfect circle nor very clean, but it will be. I didn't want to get close to the edges. I want to get it just kind of about there, and then of course I'll take this off. And then see, okay, where exactly does the circle need to be? As you know, I left a significant margin there. It took a while, but it's almost done. All I really need to do is finish that circle and cut out the leaves for the bendy over part, and then this is done, and then I'll get busy with the ribs. So that is it for tonight. Also, just for fun and to get these kind of out of the way, I put this on there just to kind of see what it would look like. Of course, it's not where it's supposed to be, and it's just not sitting on there, loosely. But it fits fairly well. Looks like it's gonna need a lot of tugging going this way to fit flush with the nose of the wing. But I had to do the same thing with the stabulator. So. The stabulator over there, so not super worried. Interesting shape. It's not just like a big bulbous thing. It's actually got some shape to it, but it does definitely have a unique shape. It's not just conical. So I didn't realize that until I actually put it on here. So this is just going to sit here for quite a while until I get done with the shenanigans over there. So yeah, that's it for tonight. Okay, today is Thursday, December 26th, Boxing Day, so 2024. So the reason there's so many clamps on there, so I got this all trimmed and to size and everything. The reason there's so many clamps on there right now is so it wouldn't move while I was hammering those leaves down. So I'm going to take that back off and get it primed. And as you can see, I took the thing back off. So I'll get it primed and then rivet it on like the other one. I need to drill a small hole for the fuel return on this side, and then rivet it on. The fuel line doesn't need to go in right away to start on the wing. I just need to drill the hole for where it goes. So that's pretty pretty straightforward. Yeah, I just gotta wait for the primer to dry, and I can then I can rivet this on. Hopefully by the end of this Christmas break, at the very least, I'll have all the ribs. Okay, today is Friday, December 27th, 2024. So I printed some more of these out, and I just deliberately like put the hex bolt all the way through just so I could see how thick it needed to be. The nice thing about PLA is it sands very easily, and the stuff that kind of sheds off just peels right off without damaging anything, so that's a nice thing. And this really doesn't have anything to do with building the plane, but I just thought it was interesting. You can see I shaved the top part of this until it would, go up in the hole, so that the center is just slightly off from the larger hole. This one does fit very, very flush with the skin, so it looks really good, but obviously the bolt's going to stick out, so I'm going to make one with the plastic on the front like that one. So yeah, one more try and it should be okay. It's later today, so I got the skin cover for the gusset on, so I was able to put this on, and I'm glad I took the time to really sand that nice and smooth, and then get a couple coats of LPS3 on, because it just you gotta twist it a little bit, but I can do it with just hand strength getting it off. The other one wasn't quite so easy. So this is the left, gonna be the left wing. And you can see just how straight that is. That's awesome. So you can also see I'm wiggling this here, and this is just rock solid. The way that center spar is secured on the top there is kind of genius, because it's so solid. Like when I push down on here, it goes up on the other side, and the whole plane kind of moves with it, so it is rock solid, which is awesome. So I'm going to scrub this down and then measure out the spots for the ribs. So hopefully I'll get to that before I leave today. So I think I'm pretty much done for the night. So as you can see, I got all of the ribs on, but they're not measured properly at all. They're just kind of willy-nilly, roughly a foot apart, just eyeballed. I'll have to dial that in and get a straight edge along the back of them like I did the last time. And that works really well. Like, they're just so bang on. So I'll just do the same thing here, which I haven't done yet. I just used that long piece there to roughly get them into place, and then I'll get them all dialed in later. So the only ones I had problem with were these two solid ones. They were just, and all of them have pretty tight tolerance. You can see like there's very little gap. They're tight, but they're not difficult to get on, except for these two. These I actually had to Dremel out about a hundredth of an inch. I just kind of went around them. Okay, still won't go on. Around them again. Okay, it went on. So yeah, these two solid ones, for whatever reason, the tolerance was just way too tight. You couldn't. You can actually see the scratches on the edge as I was trying to get it on, and that was basically as far as I could get them on. So they were really, really tight. So loosening them up, I was able to get them on no problem after that. I've just got clamps on them to keep them together. In behind there, I've got the skin all riveted on and everything. The spar is completely as far in as it will go. Just like the other one, there's a space here, fuel, and then the rest of its wing. And just like the other one, I'm not going to bother putting the lightning holes in the end. I'm going to call this progress, even though it's just sliding stuff on. But I've also got the skin on the inside done, which was the big thing. So now I can start measuring these tomorrow. The weather has actually warmed up quite a bit. Hopefully that stays true for the next couple days. If it does, I'm definitely going to try and get these pro sealed on. And it'll probably take the rest of the holidays for it to cure, because it's still in the 40s and 50s. But if I bring an electric blanket out here, that'll probably speed it up a little bit. But in any case, that's where it sits tonight. Okay, today is Saturday, December 28th, 2024. So these are all, obviously they're not perfectly aligned. They're close, but they're not perfectly aligned. I went with a straight edge and just kind of got them close, but they're not, they're not exact. But they are exact horizontally. So I got all this stuff ready, and then realized that I didn't bring the sealant to secure these with me. So I'll have to do that tomorrow. But it does give me an opportunity to start clearing out all this junk. I've been using the cabin area as a place to put crap. So I'm going to clean this up. And there's shavings everywhere from, like you can see on the floor there. I got to clean all that stuff up. I'm basically going to just clean up this crap and go home, because I don't, there's not a whole lot else I can do. If I can get to it, and I have all the connectors and stuff in here and in a box over there. I had intended on putting a quick disconnect connector in between the cables that are going in between. So I'm going to actually need two. There's one for the fuel sensor, and then another one for the lights. So I just need to put some quick disconnect. It's not the end of the world if I don't do it, but like the whole point of making those custom plugs is making it easy to remove the wings. I mean, it's never easy because they're friggin' heavy, but if I do need to remove them, it's basically just destroying the plugs, unbolting it, making some new plugs, putting them back in, and when I just need to pull it out about halfway, just enough to get access to the wires and wire in some quick disconnect. It's those same waterproof ones that I got for the lights. So I'm just going to pull this out about halfway, and then put the connectors on and then put it back on. But okay, so this has nothing to do with the build. I was just kind of proud that I got all that shit cleaned up. There wasn't quite as much aluminum dust in there as I thought, but there it was bad. Like I had to use the air compressor to blast everything out, vacuum it, blast it out again, vacuum it out again, and then one final blast out and vacuum out again, and I think I got it all. So that's all cleaned up, and you can't see it from this camera angle. I don't feel like walking over there, but I got some of the avionics and stuff that was laying in here, put in that cabinet over there. So not all of it was aluminum dust. Some of it was crap falling from the ceiling. You may or may not have seen how much crud was on there. I brushed it off while I was at it, but yeah, there's a lot of junk that falls down from the ceiling. I think what I'm probably going to do is get a very loose-fitting cover for this when I get further along, so it doesn't just get covered in muck, because after several months there's just little pieces of dirt and whatever that fall from the ceiling, and there's just nothing you can do about it. So this looks significantly cleaner than it did an hour ago. So yeah, I'm going to be hopefully back at it tomorrow. These are in place enough that I can do one more remeasure, line them up with a straight edge, and then start getting them this sealed in. So they don't need to be perfectly aligned this way, because this isn't bolted in yet. I think I can get these actually glued on tomorrow. And it'll probably take 3 or 4 days. It's actually quite warm for end of December. It's over 50 degrees in the hangar right now. Yeah, I could probably do this in a t-shirt. It's so warm in here. That's actually good news. If I can get out here and get that done, it'll be warm enough that it doesn't take 3 weeks for it to cure like it did on the first wing, because I did it in the dead of winter. I think it was like January, February, and it was freaking cold. Yeah, hopefully get out here tomorrow and get that. Okay, today is Sunday, December 29th, 2024. So, as you can see, I took this off, and it is pretty easy to get off. As you can see, that easy lube that I put on the threads instead of the Teflon. So the whole reason I took this off was I forgot to put a connector on these so they could be easily removed. Otherwise, the wires would just run all the way there continuously without any way of breaking them unless you wanted to cut them. So I got everything labeled. I got power supply out here, and a multimeter and a labeler and all the miscellaneous tools to put this together, and made sure that everything was labeled on each side, so I would know what it was in the future. The reason I did this first instead of getting the ribs pro sealed on is because there's a lot of jostling back and forth getting the wing on, and I didn't want that to cause any wobble in the ribs while they were drying. So that was the reason I took on this little project. That, and I can call it finally done. Okay, just real quick, this is the last one. This is the taxi and landing lights, the two together. So that completes everything. This took a long time to do. I wanted to make sure I didn't get any wires messed up. And this is the fuel sensor, which also needed a detachable connector. Again, it's the same waterproof ones that I used for the lights. I bought a big pack of them because I knew I was going to need a lot of them. So those are running through that grommet there. That's a 3D printed grommet. I didn't have one that was the exact size I needed, so I just made one. Now it's time to scoot this back on, so I'll get it about halfway and then tuck everything nicely and then push it the rest of the way. Okay, so the wing is back on and life is good. Okay, today is Monday, December 30th, 2024. So I thought this was kind of clever. I took a couple of 3 small clamps, just the twisty kind, and lined them up on the bottoms of these, because this is hanging off the plane. I couldn't do it like I did before, but this is probably just as easy. It's just you have to be careful to get these clamps on and not tighten them so tight that it starts warping the metal. So, but this level is super straight and super light. So that's the one straight edge, and then this big long ruler that I have is also 6 feet long and really straight. So that's how these are getting lined up, and of course I'll take this and twist it to the right position for this. So this is looking really good. It's extremely uniform, just like the other one. So happy about that, and I'm just gonna remeasure all the positions on both sides, because they do have the ability to kind of move that way a little bit. So I'm gonna measure both sides. Probably gonna have to move this table out of the way a little bit, and then start working on pro sealing it. So then it's just a waiting game. Luckily it's in the 60s at the end of December, which is kind of crazy, but I'll take it. So this will get a little bit of a head start curing with the warmer temperatures that we're having, which probably aren't going to last long, but I'll take advantage of it while I can. So next step for this is pro seal. Okay, just a quick change. I scooted that ruler over a little bit and made sure it was perfectly in line with this level. So now I can guarantee everything is straight. The other thing I wanted to do was make sure that this wasn't up against the level or up against the rib. Because there's a little bit of an indent and it would be off by about 0.1 or so. And the camera's really not going to be able to show any difference, but it's very, very even. And you can kind of see how well these were cut out and put together because I guess I'll stand back. It's kind of hard to see all of them. You can kind of see how well these were crafted because they are absolutely perfectly even. Like there's no adjustment needed. They're all exactly the same. And when I say exact, I mean exact. And same for the other wing. So yeah, I wouldn't want to have to make these all from scratch. So whoever can do that, I mean, kudos to you, because that would be very difficult to get that perfect. Well, first I got to measure, double check the measurements, you know, the positions where everything is, and the two big ones. I mean, if this is off by 0.1, it doesn't matter, but these need to be exactly where they need to be. So this seam here needs to be exactly 4 feet from the edge of this. So, and the same goes for this. This needs to be exactly, this seam needs to be exactly 4 feet from that, because the skins are exactly 4 feet wide, and the last one is exactly 2 feet. So, but I don't care about any of that, because as long as these two are fine, the 2 foot one will be. So yeah, I just gotta redo all the measurements, make sure these two that are doubled up are 4 feet apart, and then it's time to pro seal. And one other quick note, you can see on this one there's a bolt there and a bolt there just to kind of hold it together. There's a bolt on this one. I put a bolt on the back of this one in the same spot that it's on that one. This one was pre-drilled. These weren't for some reason, but I'm not going to put a bolt towards the nose there, because this is where this section here, see there, that's the end of the wing. So this section here is where the landing light's going to go, and there's going to be 3 bolts at the end. So it would be just overkill to put any other bolts, because that's where the one bolt is meant to go anyway. So I'm not going to put any bolts on that end, because the landing light will hold that end. Okay, it's getting close to time to leave. So I mixed up right at 1/3 of a batch of the Pro Seal there. I need to seal that up soon. So it was just enough to do, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ribs. This one here, and I marked it just so I wouldn't make a mistake. This is the last one that I can use the non-fuel safe stuff on. On the other wing, I use the fuel safe for all of them, because I mixed up a whole can of it and realized that it was way more than I thought it was. So I ended up using the fuel safe for the whole wing, but for this one, and you can see I missed this side of this rib, but I'm not going to mix up a batch just to do that. So I'll do that one when I get back here tomorrow and start doing the rest of these. So a little bit of a boo-boo there. I didn't mean to do that, but this is probably a little heavier than I did the last time. But you know, and you got to kind of move it back and forth and be really careful just to get some underneath there. But no, like just from wrestling with the other wing, I understand just how strong this stuff is. Because I was the torsion on this, because I was basically grabbing the edge of the wing and kind of going like that, and nothing moved at all. So this stuff is extremely strong. This will start curing, and I'll get back to it tomorrow. Okay, I just got here, and it's Tuesday, December 31st, New Year's Eve, 2024. So these worked out really nice. They're nice and solid, and they're nice and even and perfect, and they line up really nicely with the form of the wing. So I'm really happy about that. There's really nothing to do. There'll be a little bit of sealant around the edge here. That'll just get destroyed if I ever have to redo the wing. But this is kind of semi-permanent, just in case I do ever have to take the wing off. I want to be able to want it to be fairly easy. So I guess the super easy thing to do would be some sort of like quick release instead of the nut plates, but I wasn't going to go that far. So it's been about 18-19 hours, and this is still pretty tacky. I mean, it doesn't like come off or anything, but it's still pretty tacky, so it's still curing. So I'm just gonna keep on keeping on with this, finish up the non-fuel safe, and then get busy with the fuel safe for the rest of the wing. Okay, I got the last of this pro sealed up. The only thing that's left is the cabin side of that last rib. It's too tight to get in there. I'll just wait until either tomorrow or the weekend to pull this back out just a little bit to finish pro sealing the end of that. Now I can start with the fuel safe stuff and start doing those. Okay, the rest of this is done. The only thing that's left to do is that one end there, but that'll have to wait at least a couple days while this all cures. So half of it has been curing for almost a day, and the rest of this is fresh. So last time I did it, it's hovering in the 60s right now, and the last time I did this around it was probably in the 70s or 80s when I did the wing skins, maybe even 90s on some days, and it cured very quickly. But it's nowhere near as cold as when I did the first wing, so this should take about 3 days max, because we're experiencing unusually warm weather. There's actually a thunderstorm right now. You can probably hear the rain on the roof. It's kind of weird to have a thunderstorm at the end of December, but yeah, it's really warm, and it's stormy and rainy right now. So now that this is done and I can't do anything, I believe I'm going to start on the control surfaces for this side. So these rods run the length of the wing, and this square piece, this formed C-channel, is the bottom of the back of the wing. So once all these are done, are cured, I can start making all the clips that go along the back and secure this just like the other one. I should have remembered that there was several steps that I had skipped because I didn't have the wings at all at this point. So I stopped just before here, and I forgot that there's you need to back drill and install nut plates for this bracket. I'll just scoot the wing out a little bit. So I guess I get to test how easy these are to remove. The plan was to just drill holes on either side and just twist them out. That glue probably isn't terribly strong, and torsionally like that. So it may just snap off, which is even better. And I can just get a socket in there and twist it off. If not, I'll just put 2 holes in the side. I've got a pair of pliers that have those exact things, and just twist it off that way. But I expect they'll just tear off. So I'll have to take these off. Well, now I know that works really well, but that wasn't planned, obviously. So I'm gonna take those off. Pull the wing back. I'll pull the wing back here. I've also got to do a lot of trimming because I never trimmed the back of this off. It's all still rough, and there's a bunch of leftover Pro Seal on the back there where I really slopped it on pretty thick. So that little bit's got to be trimmed off. I knew I was going to have to do that, but I forgot that there's a bracket that needs to be installed there. So pull it off one more time, and I don't have to pull it off all the way, maybe halfway. And these stands are already here, so it'll be pretty easy. But I think I'm going to stop this here because that's a fairly big job, and I just don't want to do it right now. So I'll go ahead and publish it here, and the next video will of course have a lot of the finishing construction for that wing, and if not the control surfaces, at least the control rod and everything that goes in there. So I think that's the end of this one. Thanks for watching.